Welcome back to this tutorial series. This video is going to be dealing with the starting points when you first do your course creation, mainly deciding what plot of land you want to start with. We're going to start a completely new course here, so we're going to go back into Boreal. It's going to give us here. Whenever I start, I always take the trees all the way down. When you do the majority of your designing, you're going to want the trees to be down so you can see what you're doing. But you have some designers, not me, but a lot of really good designers out there who actually start with these hills and the water. They kind of just generate their own plot, and they let that dictate what holes they're going to put down, which I don't do, but it's definitely, it's a lot muddle through this really quick just so you can kind of see what this is. When we're doing this later, I don't want any course holes. When you start, I advise that you guys do the same. We'll make our own for now. The difficulty at this point doesn't matter. And when we advance, and after we give it a name, I'll show you what we're doing here. So I think a lot of designers do this, where they let the land kind of dictate where they want to put their holes, which I think is really brave. I have a plan for every hole that I want to do, and I kind of sculpt mine that way. But as you can get down here, you can kind of see this is a very, very hilly environment. The advantage to when these designers do this is that they don't have to do a lot of land sculpting afterwards, and this looks very natural and wonderful. But when they start, this is probably a good spot. But you know, so they'll say, well, this looks like a very picturesque hole, so we'll start going this way. We'll end here, and that's going to be our first tee. And they kind of do this, and that actually does look really good. I might try that someday. But in either case, they're kind of letting the land dictate where they're going to put their holes down, which is not how I do it. I'm actually going to go back out and completely change this. This is the way that we're going to do it for the purposes of this tutorial series. So same steps as last time. Going to go back into Boreal. Going to take the trees all the way down. Once the PS4 finally catches up with us, trees all the way down. Water can stay where it's at. And then I'm actually going to change the hills all the way down as well, so that I'm starting with a flat piece of land. It's going to create some water here and there, but it won't matter in a second. Same thing, taking the course holes all the way down to 0. We're going to start with our own plot of land. Difficulty doesn't matter at this point. It's going to generate nothing. Nothing is going to happen at all. It's just going to bring up my menu, and not a single thing will happen. This is the very first thing that I do with all of mine, and I think a good place to start. But we're gonna go over to Sculpt and Flatten, and you'll see that it's red. We want to get that to blue. That red shape is for something different that I'm honestly not very good at. Taste GW over on the forums does quite a bit with that. That's not for me. We're instead going to hit L1 or whichever button it is on yours to change this over to the Sculpt Terrain Flatten tool. And we're going to use this tool and make it as wide as possible. And I'm actually going to lower it until I see a little bit of water, and then I'm going to bring it up just a smidge. And what this is going to do is this is going to make the land completely flat. And this is where I love to start. It's boring, but it helps me later with heights. It's just the way that I do it. We're gonna right now, if I keep pressing X or applying, it's gonna continually raise it because it's at 4.1. If I back out and go back into flatten, now it's at 0. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spread it out farther. You see these lands with the lakes? I'm just going to move it just a bit at a time and keep applying. And those will all disappear, and what I'm doing is just giving myself a flat plot of land to work with. The disadvantages to this as opposed to the previous method, like I talked about, is you are going to have to basically create your own environment. It's going to take a little bit longer. You will have more control over it, but with the other method, starting out, everything looks very natural, very flowing. You just kind of have to pick and choose where you're going to be placing all your holes. Some people are very good at that, some people are not. I am not very good at it. I like starting with this flat plot and then kind of making my own. So the decision's up to you. Just for this video, I am starting with a flat plot of land. All I'm doing here is just moving a little bit, and I keep applying. We can talk a little bit of how the circle brushes work later, but this is the way to get a flat plot of land. There you have it. These videos are running just a little longer than I want to, but if I'm down here on ground level now, we have a completely flat plot of land and a good place to start. So the next video we'll be starting our hole. It's going to be, well, we have to do some initial setting work first, but we'll talk about that later. So until next time.